After the discussion of the combination reaction, decomposition reaction, displacement reaction and double displacement reaction, now we are going to begin with the endothermic reaction and the exothermic reaction. Now, heat from outside is absorbed in the chemical reaction or sometimes it is given out. So, when the heat from outside is absorbed during some chemical reaction or some physical process also, then if it is a physical process, we say that as endothermic process. For example, melting of ice, dissolution of the potassium nitrate in water. So in this, what happens is ice absorbs the heat from the outside, that is the atmosphere, and hence it is called as the endothermic process. So outside heat is absorbed by the in the endothermic process, heat from the surrounding is taken, and in exothermic process, heat is given out from the substance. So this is the basic things. Reactions, either it absorbs or it gives out heat. Now let us have the examples of it. We have just take a sodium hydroxide pellets or the powder, then you add water into it. You will see that the test tube becomes hot. So it becomes exothermic process. In this process, the heat is liberated. Similarly, when you are doing the dilution of the concentrate sulfuric acid with water, at that time also the heat is given out. Now, as a result, water gets evaporated instantaneously, right? Because the heat is given out. So that is the reason when you add water into the acid. I repeat, when you add water into the acid, concentrated sulfuric acid, then the acid may spill out and you may meet with an accident. So remember that when you want to dilute any acid, you are going to take water and you are going to add acid into it slowly and you are going to stir it. So this is the process which you all have to follow when you are diluting any concentrated acid or base. Okay. So no doubt little when this process is done, very less heat is given. So there is no problem, no accident take place. Now let us carry out the endothermic and the exothermic process. Now for that, children, the two plastic bottle, measuring cylinder, thermometer, etc. is required. The chemicals required from it is the potassium nitrate, sodium hydroxide and water. You are going to take in one bottle 5 gram of potassium nitrate, and another bottle you are going to take the sodium hydroxide. So you have one chemical KNO3 and another chemical NaOH. Now you add, already it was having water into it, right? So 100 ml of water you have taken, and in that you have added this 5 grams. So what you observe, when you are adding KNO3, the temperature reduces. So the temperature reduces when you add 5 grams of potassium nitrate to the water. So what does it indicate? The temperature of the surrounding gone down. So heat from the surrounding is absorbed and therefore the temperature of the surrounding is less. Okay, temperature of the resulting solution is the less. So the process in which the heat is absorbed from the outside is called as an endothermic process. Now, when you are dissolving sodium hydroxide, when solid NaOH is dissolved in water, heat is given out and therefore the temperature increases. So you can see here the temperature has increased. So this is called as the exothermic process. This is exothermic process. Okay, so this is a simple example of the endothermic and exothermic process. Now let us understand about the exothermic and endothermic reactions. So in that we had already understood about the process, the melting of the ice, etc. Now the example which we have already discussed, CaCO3 plus heat gives you CaO plus CO2, right? So heat you are giving. So heat is given from outside. So it is endothermic reaction. Whereas iska ulta, CaO के अंदर if you add water, it will give CaOH twice and heat is given out. As heat is given out, it is called as exothermic reaction. So we have one example of endothermic reaction and we have one example of exothermic reaction. Rate of chemical reaction. The same reaction occurs at different rate on changing the condition. For example, during winter, a long time is taken for setting the milk into the curd. Factors affecting the rate of reaction. Let us observe this. Now you have here the dilute hydrochloric acid and you have the two metals, aluminium. Here you have aluminium and here you have zinc. Now both of this reaction, they react with the hydrochloric acid and they liberate the hydrogen gas. Okay, and another byproduct which comes is the water soluble salts of that particular metal. But the reaction of aluminum metal takes place faster than the zinc metal. Okay, so here what happens is the nature of metal is responsible for the dispersion. So here you will see that the reaction will be faster when aluminium is there. So it depends upon the nature. Teacher is teaching to all of you simultaneously. When I am teaching to you, all are learning at your home. But some understands more, some needs little bit more revision. So there is individual difference, isn't it? In human beings also. So same in the case of the metals also, aluminium is more reactive than the zinc. So it reacts faster with the dilute hydrochloric acid. So first thing what we understood is about the nature of the reactant. So aluminum being more faster, more reactive, gives out hydrogen faster. Now second thing is size of the particles of the reactant. Now here we are going to take the example of the piece of the Sabat stone and the Sabat tile powder form. So we are going to take one in the form of the crystals and another in the form of the powder. And what you need two test tube, measuring cylinder and a balance. Okay, so here you observe the piece of Sabat tile and here you are having a powder form, and you are taken dilute hydrochloric acid. Now when you do so, it so happens is that the reaction with the powder form Shahabatyl becomes faster. Okay, and you will see the effervescence of carbon dioxide is formed faster in the powder form, whereas slow when it has got the species of Sahabat stone. Now same thing can be explained when you wanted to make the lemon juice by adding sugar. If you add sugar crystal, it will take little time for the dilution in water, whereas if you take a powder sugar, it will dilute faster. So definitely size of the particles is going to matter in the chemical reaction. So children, whenever you want to do particular reaction, decide, do you want to do the reaction faster or slow? If it is fast, you want to do it fast, always use the powder form. Now the third thing is about the concentration of the reactant.